Hi guys, it's Bethany. Today I am pulling from my video archives from past projects that I recorded in hopes that someday I would make this video, and today I am throwing them together for you. It is a video on alterations to a few of the projects that I've done, particularly pertaining to the lettering. So if that's something that interests you, keep watching. A couple of these projects I had bought on Amazon, so the lettering wasn't perfect. One of them, the picture image was way too small for the size of canvas it was. That was a learning experience for me. I'm sure a lot of you out there have gone through similar thing in your diamond painting journey. One of the canvases is from a great company. The quality and everything was great, but I just wanted to make a change. And then there's another canvas of which I just made changes all around because I wanted it to look a little bit better. Without further ado, let's get into those videos. Sometimes a finished project will not look like we hope it to, especially when you go with a more budget-friendly canvas. So as you can see in this one, there are some changes that I want to make this picture, to make it so that it was worth my time. So I'm gonna do some alterations to this one, and hopefully it will turn out better. I actually really like this picture. I bought it for a friend, and I need to get it looking to where it's something I would actually be proud of to give them before I frame it and wrap it up. So these are the extra drills from the kit, and I'm gonna play around with those and switch some things out and see if I can't get this to looking better. This is the picture with the alterations that I made. It still isn't ideal because it is such a small piece. It's still going to be pixelated. It's still going to not have details that the original picture asked for because of the size of this canvas. But I do think that this looks a lot better. I put some straight lines of a medium blue. It's kind of a darker blue, but compared to the other blue in there, it's lighter. So I put lines there. I changed the wording here and here. You can't read that it says Coca-Cola, but it definitely looks a lot more like the brand, whereas before it was just totally a blob of colors. Here, the picture on the canvas is this really detailed picture of people, and there was no way that was going to show up on here, and it had this archway, so I just defined the archway. I made some changes in the Santa face and in his lips so that it actually looked more like a face. I did a little bit of rearranging of some of the diamonds here in this Coke bottle, and that's where I'm going to leave it. So even on a not so detailed canvas, when symbols are just kind of jumbled and thrown together, you can make it look a little better. And that is an example of that. Another example of something I changed is in this Chuck Pinson, the Sweet Life painting that I did. Here in this bridge, I changed the wording so that it actually has wording. In the original diamond painting, there was just a bunch of symbols there. I will show you a picture here. In the original painting itself, it says the Sweet Life which obviously isn't going to fit on this diamond painting. I wanted it to say something besides just the cryptic symbols that were charted on this one, and I thought that was a pretty good compromise. So basically what I did was I decided what letters could fit and how I could write them out in there, and then I laid the dark parts down first, and then I filled in the background. I wish I would have thought to record my progress on this before now, but this is another canvas which I have made changes to. I'm not finished with it yet. I still have this section left to go. These words right here say, "I love you to the moon and back." But originally, before I started doing some alterations, you really couldn't distinguish at all what it said. So the first thing that I started doing was switching dark and light colors around. And as I finished up with this, I am finished with this color in the kit. And so all of these are extra. So what I'm doing first is going through and replacing darker ones. Like here in this O was all dark. I replaced those with lighter ones. In some of these letters you can see where I've replaced the lighter colors. And by doing that, I'm adding more definition to the words. You can see the spaces between the words a lot better. And so the next thing I'm going to do after I finish using up as many of these lighter colors as I think I want, I'm going to continue working on this. And when I get through with all of the darker colors, I'm going to go through and I'm going to replace some of these spots with darker colors. So like here, it'll finish the loop of the L, and here, just a little bit darker to add more definition. You can see that there's spaces here where adding the darker color drills will give it even more definition, and then hopefully I'll be able to read it really well. Another change I've been working on, and I'm not finished with this yet, but has been making changes in the eyes. Once again, I wish I had a before picture to show you guys, but these lines were not very well defined for the center of the eye. And one of the things I've been kind of going through is replacing some of the darker colors with some of the lighter colors, trying to do it in a subtle way so that there's still some shading there. But that's another thing that I'm working on. Also in this canvas, you can see that there's supposed to be spots for stars, but they weren't really well defined. They looked more like this. And I'm still going to do some alterations to this one. I haven't done it yet. But as you can see here with these ones, I kind of replaced some of those drills that didn't quite fit in. And this isn't a perfect looking star, but it gives a lot better idea that there's a star there than it did before. And once I get to the end, I will probably make even more alterations to that. But I don't want it to look perfectly symmetrical either. I want it to have a feeling of whimsy. And so I may just kind of leave this like this, where it's kind of odd looking there, just to kind of show that light shines in different ways sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And like this one, I may end up leaving two, because you can tell that there's a star, you can tell that those are supposed to be stars, even though they're not perfectly symmetrical. I'm probably going to go through and work on these ears. Adding a little more of the orange and pink on this so that it's a little more symmetrical for those, and then maybe some lighter on the outside. We'll see. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I may change it. I may just leave it. Anyways, I love this piece. Super cute. I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan, and this is a phrase that I've always said back and forth with my kids, so this one's really precious to me. Let's see how it turns out. I finished, and as you can see, the writing here on the left, it looks a lot better. You can understand what it says. Down here, for this star, I just did 3 across, one on top in the middle, one on the bottom in the middle to make that more like a star. I smoothed this out on the bottom. I took away that part in the middle because I thought it just looked odd, and that was the simplest solution I could come up with. That I made some adjustments to the eyes, and I made some adjustments to the ears with the coloring, as you can see. So yeah, I think this one turned out pretty good. So even if you have a piece that is not to your liking, you can make adjustments and make it look a lot better. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you sticking around. Give me a thumbs up on your way out, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.